Okay, so if we can kick off with Fraser from Sky Sports.
Hello, Carlo.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. You?
Yeah, very good, thank you. It's nice to speak to you. How are you feeling about getting back to football now?
Oh, I feel good. I think it's time. Was a time to come because the period was so long. Now to start again. It will be very important start for us. Everyone knows a very difficult game, but also we can consider this a great opportunity to show our quality and to come back to try to come back in the Premier League with a good result and with a good performance.
What sort of shape are the players in? Are you satisfied with the way they've come back after the lockdown?
Yes, we gave them during the lockdown to follow at home. They came back well. We had some problems when we had collective training the first week, but after that everything was set, and I think that physically the team is in a good condition. We have some problem like Jerry Mina that will not be able to play against Liverpool with Delph. We had a big problem with Gabaman. Also Walcott had the surgery last week. But the other players are fit, in good condition and motivated.
Were you worried? You mentioned the injuries that you've got there. Were you worried that there wasn't enough time for the players to get back to full fitness?
Usually when you come back a long period, 5 weeks to well, the team didn't have 5 weeks, but I think that the physical condition of the team is good enough to play a good game.
One of the players that it looks like will be coming back is Andre Gomez. How pleased are you to have him back in the squad again?
Oh, I think that Gomez is really important for us. He came back before the lockdown. He needed time to perform at his best, but now he is fit, in good condition, and comfortable on the pitch. A long time out, and so we are really pleased that he is back.
In terms of coming back to football in your first game, obviously against Liverpool, is this as difficult a first game as you could have possibly expected, do you think?
It's very difficult, this is of course, but we have to consider this as a great opportunity. The score of the Everton against Liverpool in the last period was not so good, and so we have to consider this game as a great opportunity to try to win and to try to do our best. It will be difficult, of course, because Liverpool is one of the best teams in the world, but we have to try. We have to try, and above all, we want to try.
With Manchester City having beaten Arsenal on Wednesday night, it means that Liverpool can't win the title at Goodison Park. Is everybody at Everton a little bit relieved about that? Is the pressure off now?
Well, I think our goal is not the goal of Liverpool, of course. Our goal is to do our best to try to reach a good position on the table, if it's possible, to fight to play the Europa League, the Europe in Europe next season, and so we are not so focused what Liverpool is going to do in the future. Of course, they are going to win the title. They are not going to win the title at our home, but this doesn't matter. For us, it's important to have points to improve our table.
And despite the fact that you won't have any fans there, are you pleased that this game is being played at Goodison Park?
I'm pleased that the game is at Goodison Park. I'm not pleased that we have to play without supporters. This is, I think, and no one is pleased to play against supporters. And I hope when down will be finished and everyone will be safe, to have people in the stands during the games.
Thank you, Carlo.
Pleasure.
Hi, Carlo. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Mandy.
Nice to speak to you. How would you describe your relationship with Jurgen Klopp, and what have you made of his managerial career so far?
I think we met a lot of time in games in Europe when he was at Borussia Dortmund, when he was in Liverpool. But apart from this, apart the professional relationship, I think he's a good friend of mine. We didn't talk a lot, but I think that I feel good when I talk to him. I think he's an honest man and a great professional.
You've been involved in so many huge derby games. Is this going to be the most strange one you've experienced with the lack of supporters at Goodison Park?
Everywhere derby is a special game. It's not a normal game. I know everywhere in the world how the supporters look for this game, and I know above all here how the Everton fans look for this game, what they want to see from my team. And so we know really well what we have to do.
Do you feel you have to play a perfect game to beat this Liverpool side?
I think so. We have to play a perfect game, showing character, showing sacrifice, showing personality. And yes, for sure, to beat Liverpool, you have to do more than 100%.
And just finally for me, how difficult is it to prepare your players, Carlo, for this game when you don't know the form of your own team, you don't know the form of the opposition? How does it change your preparation as a manager?
But in the last 3 weeks, when the protocol opened for a collective training, we didn't have a problem. We train like usual and like normal. So we didn't have a problem to prepare this game. Of course, nobody knows how the players are going to react without supporters. Nobody knows, and we will see. We will see what's going on, because it is a mental aspect and could be really important for our team and also for the others.
Thank you, Carlo.
Alistair from BBC.
Hi, Carlo. How are you? Can you hear me?
Alice, I'm fine. You? Yes, well.
Good to see you. I just wondered about the Merseyside derby on Sunday. Are Everton at a disadvantage? Usually in a derby, you have a huge advantage playing at home with your own supporters. So is it disappointing that you're at a disadvantage for your first Merseyside derby in that regard?
Yeah, of course. As I said, everyone in football say that your supporters are the 12 men. And I know, and we know how our fans supported us during home games, but we have to respect the rule, the procedure. I think it's a right procedure. We have to, first of all, to think that everyone has to stay safe. I hope that soon we can have supporters, and we have to manage this situation as best we can.
And I just wondered how much you're keen to make an impression in this game too, because the last game obviously was at Chelsea, the 4-0 defeat, and that must have been. Have you been thinking about that game much during lockdown?
I think that lockdown was good for us only for this reason, because we didn't forget, of course, that result, but we didn't forget that performance. So we were working on that performance, and I hope that we can show a different ability, a different quality in this game.
And just last of all, obviously last week or the week before, the club announced that both you, the senior staff, and all the players had taken a wage cut. Could you explain a little bit about the process and what you thought of that decision and how you contributed? How did you contribute to that decision?
No, I think it was a voluntary decision. And so to help the club, to help the employer of the club, the local community, I think every one of us individually take their own decision. I think, in my personal opinion, was right to try to help all the people that we need in this particular period of time. That's it. I think that was not publicized, and I think it was the correct decision. The club and all the people that are working in the club, they are showing a lot of unity. Also, the club is working really hard with the local community, with the Blue Campaign family, where every one of us is involved, and we are happy to be involved.
Thank you.
Can we go to Chris Hall from Granada Reports, please?
Hi there, Carlo. I just wondered whether lockdown had given you an even newer appreciation of how important sport and football in particular in this country is to the people of this
Cannot hear
country.
you.
Can you still not hear me? Hang on. My audio should be working. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear me now. So sorry about that. I just wondered whether during lockdown this has given you an even greater appreciation of how important football and sport is to the people of this country. And with that in mind, how important is it that you guys can put on a show on Sunday and really lift the country's spirits?
No, I think it's important for football to come back, because I think football is not the most important part of our life, but is important part of the life of everyone. Can give happiness, can give a lot of things. And so the fact that we are back, I think, is good. Also can be enjoy for the people that can watch the game. But honestly, I said to you, I hope soon that people will be in the stadium.
And how much have you missed it?
Football, well, a lot, but I think that in this particular period, everyone is thinking of my personal thinking was about my life, about what we have to do. I appreciate the fact that I was in Crosby, and I really enjoyed the period there, because it was a beautiful place to live, and I tried to spend sometimes looking for myself.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
We'll go to Ian Parker from Press Association. Ian, are you there?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah. Carlo, I just wanted to ask a couple of things. You mentioned there that you'd taken a little bit of time to yourself. You're a very experienced manager, but how much of a challenge has this period been? What new challenges has this situation created for you?
A new challenge, but new challenge is difficult period for everyone. Difficult period. I was really involved there also because my own country, Italy, was really, really bad. Now the things are really better, and I think that the most important part for every one of us was to follow the procedure, the protocol that the government gave to us, and we tried to follow. And when we had the possibility to come back to training, also individual, we were really pleased. And now we have a hope that we are back, and soon everything will be absolutely normal.
Obviously, you arrived at the club mid-season, so you were constantly preparing for a game that was coming quite soon. Has this time without any games allowed you to make any tactical changes, maybe put your own stamp on the team in a bigger way than you've been able to do up to now?
No, tactical changes, no. In this period, we were in contact with players, showing them some video, giving them some physical training to do at home, but nothing special. We are not going to change our strategy. We are not going to change our style. Until the end of the season, we follow the style in the games before the lockdown. Until the end of the season, we are going to follow this line.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
If we go to Greg O'Keefe next. You're on mute there, Greg.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Carlo. Can I just check whether you've been able to have a friendly with another club during the return to training?
We just consider the fact that we wanted to play us. Also because we didn't have a lot of players, we was not stand and I didn't want to take a risk. Was to play between us at Goodison Park.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Would anyone else like to ask a question in the open section before we go to Radio Merseyside?
If I could ask a question from Reuters, is that possible?
Yep, fire away.
Carlo, Alan Baldwin, Reuters. You talked about not being happy with the lack of spectators, but I just wondered, do you think there is such a thing as home advantage anymore? Does it exist in these days without crowds?
I think that the fact that we play home without supporters is a disadvantage for us, and that it will be a disadvantage for Liverpool. This is for sure. But as I said, we have to be able to manage this.
Thanks.
Anybody else before we go to Radio Merseyside?
Yeah, I have one if that's okay.
Yep.
Will from Stats Perform. Hi, Carlo.
Hi.
Just a quick one on Jean. Gave him in. He's obviously had a long injury layoff and has now been injured again. What kind of mental state is he in? Must have been a huge blow for him.
Of course, he is not happy, but I think he is strong enough to be able to move on quickly. I think he's really young. I had the experience at this time with the same problem, 2 years out from injury, and so I spoke with him. I said, be quiet, things to recover well, properly, take your time, have a rest. The fact that he has had in the last weeks a little boy back, born, so can help him to be strong, to do a proper recovery.
And when are we likely to see him again?
I think it takes 4 or 5 months to recover well from a tendon injury, and so he will be back next season. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to James from Radio Merseyside.
Hello, Carlo. Good to see you again. I just wondered, were you ever fearful that the season would not be able to continue?
Sorry?
Were you ever fearful that the season may not be able to continue?
When? Yes, of course. There was a period of time that we were not sure to come back, above all when there was a lot of people infected in the country. But now, day by day, I think the things are improved. And the decision to come back, I think it was the right decision. And we are happy and we enjoy the fact that we are back.
And earlier in the lockdown, there was speculation that some players might be cautious about returning. But can you tell us about the mood within the dressing room and how comfortable they are with the current protocols to actually get to this point?
No, I think that the protocol that we are following is really clear protocol. Everyone understands this. The training ground is really safe place. We have problem. The players has no complaint. Of course, they were not happy to train individually, but it took only 1 week, and then we were back to train all together. And so after that, the player has absolutely no problem, and they are happy to train and to play.
And just finally from me, what advice will you have for your players about playing in a Merseyside derby with no supporters?
The advice is, as I said to them, it's a really important game. Also, we don't have supporter. We have to be able to show to our support that are looking us at home all they want to see. So character, personality, courage, all the quality that you need to play a derby.
Thank you.
Okay, folks,